Breaking tonight, a sudden ceasefire between the United States and Iran, the Strait of Hormuz reopening, and just hours after major U.S. strikes on a strategic Iranian island. Is this peace or just a pause before a bigger war? We begin with dramatic developments in the Middle East, where the United States and Iran have agreed to a 2-week ceasefire, raising hopes of de-escalation after weeks of intense conflict. The agreement includes the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil routes, a move that could stabilize global energy markets. This breakthrough comes just hours after U.S. forces carried out targeted strikes on military positions on a strategic Iranian island. According to reports, the strikes focused on key infrastructure, including missile systems and radar installations, underscoring the intensity of the conflict leading up to the ceasefire. The island's location near the Strait of Hormuz makes it a highly sensitive military and economic target. The Strait of Hormuz handles roughly 20% of the world's oil supply, making it one of the most important choke points in global trade. During the conflict, shipping traffic was severely disrupted, with tankers stranded and global supply chains under pressure. Now, with the ceasefire in place, the reopening of the strait could ease tensions in energy markets. Although uncertainty remains, the ceasefire was reached at the last minute, reportedly with international mediation efforts helping both sides step back from further escalation. Under the agreement, Iran will allow safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. The United States will pause military operations for 2 weeks. Both sides are expected to engage in further negotiations. President Donald Trump described the deal as a major success, claiming U.S. military objectives had already been achieved. Despite the agreement, the situation remains extremely fragile. Reports indicate that military activity continued in some areas even after the ceasefire announcement, raising questions about how effectively it will hold. Shipping companies and global markets are also cautious, warning that the ceasefire does not yet guarantee full security in the region. World leaders have welcomed the ceasefire, but are urging both sides to pursue a long-term diplomatic solution. The move has already impacted global markets. Oil prices showing signs of stabilization, shipping routes reopening, investors cautiously optimistic. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts are intensifying to turn this temporary truce into a lasting peace agreement. Experts say this moment represents a critical turning point. On one hand, the ceasefire reduces immediate risk of full-scale war. On the other, recent U.S. strikes show the conflict can escalate quickly, and most importantly, the agreement is temporary, just 2 weeks. Analysts warn that the next phase of negotiations will determine whether this becomes lasting peace or renewed conflict. At this hour, U.S. strikes have hit key Iranian targets. A 2-week ceasefire is now in effect, and the Strait of Hormuz is reopening. But the biggest question remains, is this the beginning of peace or just a pause before the next escalation?